This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Welcome, listeners. I'm your host, Dani, and I'm the first-time reader who's going through this 15-book series chapter by chapter. As always, there are no spoilers past the chapter we are covering, and that means it is totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host, Brett, who's a longtime fan of the series, and he's acting as my tour guide on this journey. Before we get into things today, we want to thank and recognize Fania K and Nathan, who are the newest members of the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. We also want to recognize Mozyme, who is one of our patrons, and he has just increased his pledge to become a producer-level patron over at patreon.com/The Wheel Weaves Podcast. So he joins the ranks of Benjamin, Kyle Smith, Joe Lott, Passion Socks, and Moltude. We really want to thank you so much for all of your support, your generosity, all of our patrons who help make this podcast even better. Thank you so much. In this episode, we're going to be talking about two chapters, 24 and 25 of The Great Hunt.
Yeah, so 24 is New Friends and Old Enemies.
Yeah, or what else did you call it?
I said Egwene's a little jelly monster.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. And chapter 25 is Cairhien.
Yes.
Yeah, and tons happen in these two chapters.
I know, they're good.
Lots to talk about.
This is probably my favorite chapter so far.
And I'm pretty sure you've said that quite a few times in this book. Like every chapter is your new favorite chapter.
Sometimes. It depends if funny things happen in them.
Yeah, and
I like when funny things happen.
These two chapters certainly have enough funny bits in them, so.
Oh, yes. These two chapters were right up my alley. I even enjoyed writing the notes on them. Like, it was good. It was good.
Good. So let's jump into the fun fact and we can talk about who the new friends are and who the old enemies are.
All right.
So, today's fun fact is about puppets.
Ugh.
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't like it that much. It was a toss-up between this and another one. I went with this one, but the other one's going to be next time.
I don't like puppets.
I know, and I know that's why you weren't going to like this one, but I had to look up a couple
You
fun
don't like
facts.
puppets either.
I'm not a fan of most of them, but it's about the big giant puppets a little bit, and a little bit about the history of puppets and where they came from.
Fine.
So, puppets have been used in like art and theater for well over 3,000 years, and some of the earliest accounts of puppets in writing are as early as 422 BCE in ancient Greece, and Aristotle and Plato both talk and make references to puppetry. But it's also...
Were they puppeteers, or did they just like to watch the puppetry?
From what I could find, they were not the puppeteers. There's accounts of them.
Gotcha. Okay.
But also in ancient Egypt is likely where the first puppets came from, because they found like little puppets basically in ancient tombs.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then one of the cool parts about puppetry is that it did kind of originate independently all across the world. Like so many cultures have their own variations of puppetry. But it's very likely that puppets were used in theater before actors, like human actors were. And that's going to be important in the next couple of years. So, as we progress through the series.
Oh.
Yeah.
In the next couple of years in the book.
Yes. Yeah. In like our reading of the book, it's going to be important because it's typical that puppets were actually used before the advent of human actors in real life.
Okay, and we get note of puppets when we get into the Cairhien chapter.
We do, and that's why I had to talk about this fun fact here.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. I like how you kept that short.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, let's get into chapter 24. New friends and old enemies.
Yeah, and that's like the first question.
Right, so the new friends is quite obvious.
Yeah.
And the old enemies is only like medium apparent.
Yeah. I mean, we meet a few people who could be, like it could be Logain.
Oh, okay, so nope.
As an old enemy? No? Okay.
To who? No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, maybe.
Of the White Tower? Like, nah.
So is it Elida?
Perhaps.
Again, that's
it doesn't really sound like she's an enemy, though, to Elaine. The way Elaine talks to her. And then I was also going to say maybe Gawain and Elaine.
Okay.
Because Elaine really hates Gawain.
Galad. Gawain's her brother, who's like the
absolutely.
same. And Galad is the pretty boy who never does anything that's bad.
Yes, Galad.
So, yeah. Okay, so that's the old enemy?
Maybe.
Okay. And this is an Egwene perspective, so like you think that the chapter title Min could be like who's Min and who's Elaine? Like along that, like the jelly monster
but like
type.
the old enemy thing is a little bit...
It's a little bit tougher to figure out.
Unless it's Elida and Moraine.
Okay, because we get
going a little bit deeper into like what's actually going on.
Okay.
Maybe.
Like beneath the surface type,
or like
what's
Min
happening.
and Moraine. Although it sounds like they used to be friends, but now
I think
not so much.
Yeah, it sounds like Min's more frustrated with Moraine.
Yeah.
But is not
enemies.
Yeah, so okay. Big question mark, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it'll get answered as we discuss. Maybe it'll pop out for me.
Yeah.
So anyways, last time Nynaeve had her testing.
Yep.
And she passed because she's super immature and holds grudges like nobody's business.
Yep, and we'll do this out of vengeance.
Absolutely, yep. And last time with Rand, he was on his way to Cairhien being escorted by some Cairhienan soldiers.
Yes.
Okay. So we jump into Egwene's perspective right now, and she's being led down a hall in the White Tower by some accepted. And at first I actually thought it was Nynaeve.
Yeah,
because we jumped straight from Nynaeve becoming an accepted to this.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah.
It's not. And we do get some information about sort of the Aes Sedai in training uniforms.
Yeah, yeah.
They have to wear these dresses.
Yep.
And since yesterday, Nynaeve has worn the accepted dress.
Yeah, so you kind of get to level up your gear, I guess.
Right. It's basically the same white dress, but it has the 7 colors on the hem and sleeves.
Yeah.
And then she also, as an accepted, gets to wear the golden serpent ring.
Which is really important for a couple of reasons.
Black Aja friends.
Black Aja friends at the Black Friend...
over
Black,
at the
Dark Friends social party, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The women were wearing the rings, and that's when we had the man who calls himself Bors thinking that it's probably Aes Sedai or someone who is like in Tar Valon, so it could be accepted at the Dark Friends social too.
Right. It doesn't really sound like they can just like leave so freely though.
It doesn't. It really doesn't, because like you get reprimanded pretty severely from what it sounds like.
Especially being a novice. I don't know if being accepted is a little bit different.
Yeah. Well, it seems like...
I still don't believe if you're not a full sister that you can just go wander the world wherever you want.
Yeah.
That just doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Anyway, I guess I'll find out more, but it's interesting that they get the ring before they're a full Aes Sedai.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So Egwene is showed to a room by an accepted named Pedra, and Pedra's a bitch.
Basically how it works.
And Egwene is getting this time today because it's her first day.
Yeah.
As a novice.
So she gets like the morning off.
Basically.
Yeah. And
she is expected to be in the scullery when the gong sounds for high.
Yes.
And a little bit later on...
It's noon.
Yeah, it's just high noon,
yeah.
right? That's what that's
the sun's highest.
Yeah.
Yeah, noon.
Yeah. But the gong will sound at different parts of the day.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like the chiming bells.
Well, you can probably assume everyone doesn't have like a watch, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Egwene gets into the room and there's another novice in there. A rather beautiful one.
Yeah.
With red gold hair.
And immediately, did you know who this was?
No.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
Because literally the next sentence it says, "Hi, I'm Elaine."
Yeah.
So like I didn't even have time to register what
like
she
who
looked
it might
like
have
or
been.
who
Yeah.
it might have been.
Okay.
It's
just that reddish gold hair is like the one defining feature.
Yeah.
And then the elegance and dignity and self-possession. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, "Hi, I'm Elaine," and it's like, "Oh, okay."
There you go.
Yeah. And I just thought, "Oh, this is super exciting.
Yeah,
this is really interesting." I was like, I can't wait for Egwene to get to the White Tower and meet Elaine, and they're going to be best friends.
Yeah.
Like, I did predict that.
We did talk a lot about if they're going to be, like, BFFs or what's going to happen.
And I totally said they were going to be friends.
Yeah,
I'm like, they hit it off right away.
They do pretty well, all things considered, especially with Rand in the mix here in the conversation, so we can really dig into this.
Yeah, and she apparently is to be Egwene's, like, novice mentor.
Yeah, just like, I'll show you around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So they both complain a little bit about all the chores, and then we get some info about how time is kept here. So there's like breakfast, high, dinner, trine, then supper, and full.
Yeah.
Those are the times in the day.
Yeah, just kind of sort of. Just like evenly break down your day for when things happen, so.
I know, but just it's like, okay.
Can I help you out with this?
Please do.
It doesn't matter that much.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good.
Yeah. So
Good
the
then.
way to look at it, because they kind of
Especially as a novice, because basically all her time is spent doing chores.
Yeah, it's gonna be like study, chores, more chores, probably some punishment.
Yeah.
So
Sounds about right.
yeah.
Okay.
But it is kind of funny that Elaine like immediately says, "Hey, you're Egwene from Ensfield in the Two Rivers."
Yeah.
So she 100% like has this locked in her mind that she's meeting someone from Two Rivers because she definitely has Rand on her mind
Absolutely.
the whole time.
Yes,
So,
she does.
Yeah.
And at first, I actually think Elaine is being a little pretentious.
Yeah, as a
Here?
princess might.
Yeah, like
Okay.
she can feel that Egwene was born with the power and starts saying things like, "Oh, don't worry if you can't channel or do anything yet."
Yeah,
You
you'll
know?
learn.
Yeah, don't worry if you're not good at it. Patience is a virtue that must be learned. But then it's almost like something clicks in her head and she's like, "Ugh, I hate this."
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, I hate talking like this. And so that's kind of nice because then she goes back to just being like regular.
Yeah.
So-
Well, you might even assume that Egwene was feeling a little bit about that too, like some sort of way about that, because she immediately tries to do the best thing she can.
Yeah.
Like she goes with the strongest thing she knows how to do to almost like prove herself.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm not just like a, first day novice. I'm like a, month in novice. So,
Right.
yeah. Big difference.
Oh, yes. But I think it's interesting because my first read on it was that Elaine is being pretentious, but I actually just think that she's being helpful.
Yeah.
She's like trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
And so Egwene tries to sound modest, but tells her that she's actually had some lessons already. And then she just like creates a fireball.
A glowing sphere.
A ball of light.
Let's not exaggerate too much here.
Okay. Like a ball of light, and it sort of flickers. Like it's not even that strong.
Yeah.
But then Elaine does
You know what? Fireball sounds cooler. So,
yeah, it does. But I know. Okay. So Elaine actually does the same, and then it appears that they're relatively equal.
Yeah.
Because Elaine's ball of light was flickering too.
Yeah.
So that's interesting because we don't quite know how long Elaine has been here and how long she's been getting lessons for.
Yeah.
And we also don't quite know how long Egwene has been getting lessons for, but I got the sense that Elaine should be stronger and better than Egwene.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like she's there to be the mentor, sort of, to like show her around, and it seems like she's been there a little longer and done a little more and knows a little more, but I think this is just showing how strong Egwene actually is.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's how I saw it.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. It's hard to interpret how long. We could probably like pinpoint within the like 1 to 3 month range.
Yeah.
Because not much time has happened like passed in the world, but probably around that amount of time.
Yeah, that makes sense then. Yeah. So they both get really excited because they could see the glow around each other.
Yeah.
And they giggle because apparently this is like the first time either of them have like seen that fully. And Egwene says that she really likes Elaine and they are gonna be friends.
BFFs.
And then Elaine
Cue
says,
the questions.
"Do you know Rand from the Two Rivers?"
And there we go. Okay.
And she goes, "I know him." Yes. And then she thinks about how Rand told her about meeting the queen and the daughter heir of Andor, and it all clicks for her.
So if you just to recall that conversation, she pretty much dismissed everything Rand was saying because he was totally upfront. And she's like, if you're not even going to tell me the truth, then I'm just not going to talk to you.
Yep.
So.
Well, and they were already feuding.
Yeah, they were.
At that point. So I don't really blame her because it's a crazy story. But
it is. But turns
like,
out.
Oh my god, you're the daughter heir of Andor. And Elaine says, yeah, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. Like, I'm going to get punished by Sherry Amsadai if I even mention that.
So that kind of makes sense too, because like you're in the White Tower, you're supposed to, we've heard before as Aes Sedai, like cut all ties to your previous life.
Yeah.
So she needs to separate.
Yes.
Which it doesn't sound like she does a good job of.
No.
So.
No. And I really don't think any of them are going to actually do a very good job of that. Like, that's a difficult task, especially right at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know?
I get that.
But Egwene hates the idea of being scolded like a child, But in the White Tower, all novices are basically children.
Yes.
So.
And you don't just get scolded.
No, you get like smacked.
You get beaten with a stick.
Yeah.
So there's that too.
Yeah.
But here's the rules for the novices.
Okay.
Don't be a disrespectful little jerk.
Yep.
Don't speak out of turn.
Yep.
And don't leave the tower without permission.
Yep.
There you go.
Easy. Easy enough to follow.
Yeah.
Do all your chores. Don't break too many dishes daydreaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About warders and things of that nature.
And Rand.
And Rand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we get into some stuff here about how there aren't enough Aes Sedai, but the White Tower cannot lower their standards, and that's why the training is so hard.
Yeah, we've talked about this a couple times because this is not the first time we've heard the whole there's only 40 novices.
Yeah.
And 7 or 8 are going to be accepted, and then...
Right. But this is the first time we hear about this culling theory.
Yeah, a theory, so...
Yeah, it is a theory. But basically, because the Red Aja are gentling the men who can channel...
Yeah.
The theory is there are less people in the world who can channel because you're cutting off like half of the world to channeling.
Yeah, and there's two sides of that coin because, I mean, take 3,000 years of killing all the male channelers, and then on the flip side of that, Aes Sedai aren't well known for their, having babies and reproducing. It's like
and
well known that they
we
typically don't.
We don't really know if using the power is genetic.
We don't know that, but this is a theory that sounds like maybe using the power is sort of genetic.
Yeah, but don't talk to the Red Aja about it.
Oh yeah, they don't want to be blamed for anything because they're doing a good thing. So
yeah,
but yeah, so it is an interesting. I mean, kind of keep an eye out for this too because we've talked about why there might not be very many Aes Sedai or novices, and we've also talked about how the fact that they don't seem to have a very good recruitment practice.
Yeah.
Like they don't have
a recruiting system. Yeah.
It's just like, hey, if you find one, bring them in. So
yeah, basically. That's what it seems like.
That sounds bad.
Yeah. But Elaine asks if Rand is well. And Egwene feels a stab of jealousy.
Yeah.
Call the jelly school. But then she also gets sort of scared for him. And the fear of him getting found out actually overtakes the jealousy.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
I want to hear your thoughts on Egwene's jealousy, though. Like the flash of jealousy, whatever we want to call it. It sounds like she gets over it pretty quickly, but it is a repeated thing in this chapter.
I think that she's jealous because Rand has always been hers.
Yes.
And it's difficult for her to think about him even talking with other beautiful women.
Yeah, yeah.
And thinking about maybe being with other beautiful women because it's not likely that they're going to be together.
So even though the last time they, Egwene
she's
and Rand talked...
She's logical about it, but it's still difficult.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's some...
she's jealous, but she's more logical about the situation, I think.
Yeah, it's like, okay, shove that emotion down because there's no reason for that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And so she hopes that Elaine doesn't know he can channel, and she tells Elaine that the last time she saw Rand, he was riding with Shienarian soldiers. And Elaine goes, oh man, he told me he's a shepherd.
And then all this.
Yeah, and then she says she finds herself thinking about him at the oddest times.
Ooh, okay.
But then she says that Elaida certainly thinks he's special.
Yes.
And she tells Egwene that Elaida is Red Aja, and
It also confirms that Elaida did send out, the search party for Rand. And she was
pissed
so
when
mad.
She found out that he left not Cairhien, Caemlyn.
Yeah, Caemlyn. Yes. That was at that point back in the journey. So.
Yeah, and Egwene feels her mouth go dry.
Yeah.
Because why is a Red Aja searching for Rand?
And then how much does Elaine know, and how much does Elaida know, and then who's Elaida talking to? So there's a whole bunch of problems.
Yeah, and she goes, oh yeah, I actually don't know where he is at all.
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
And then Elaine says that she wouldn't tell Elaida anything anyway.
Yeah.
But hopefully.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next jelly monster attack.
Well, no, because we also learned that White Cloaks did follow them to Tarvalin.
Yeah, we did get that.
And are camped out by Dragonmount.
Yes.
And that's just a call to when we saw Jeffram.
Yeah.
Bornhold, right? That's when we saw it back over at Eridaman, somewhere over there.
Yeah, and he had his orders from Pedro Niall to go off, and then...
Right, all of those names I completely forgot.
Dane Bornhold and all those guys.
Yeah, and he was like, oh no, I left them in my son's hand, and
Those guys are
Those
irresponsible.
guys are super overzealous.
Overzealous, yeah.
And they probably followed the party to Tarvalin.
Might try to get across the bridges or something. That's a bad thing.
Yeah. Okay, so we get confirmation that they did.
Yeah, that was that whole thing.
And so let's not talk about that now, though.
Yeah.
Because...
Let's
go see some other girls who are here and also know Rand.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Rand seems to meet a lot of girls.
Yeah, just like super level about it. Like she's clearly not happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Elaine goes, well, maybe there is this lazy chit named Else Grinwell. What the heck is going on?
Hey!
Why the hell is Else Grinwell here to be an Aes Sedai? And I mean, like, it all makes sense to me in a bit.
Yeah.
And I'll explain when it all sort of clicked for me.
Okay.
But at first I was like, what?
Yeah.
This is just convenient placement, I think.
Okay.
Like, at
just
first
like more
I was
names
like,
of people we know?
Yeah, and I was like, what the hell? This doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't? Okay.
No.
Does your opinion change, though, you said?
Yes, it
okay.
certainly does
Okay,
change.
That's good.
But apparently Matt and Rand, by the way, that's who that is.
Yeah.
They put notions of seeing the world in her head, and she ran off to be an Aes Sedai.
Yeah,
and
here you go.
Okay. Like, question mark. Like, it just didn't make any sense to me. It was so stupid.
Yeah.
But anyway, they take off down the corridor to go see the others who know Rand, and then they stop because they see Logain.
So cool.
And I go,
wow,
Logain, huh?
And you don't think that this is the old enemy?
No, of who? Of what?
Well, he was a false dragon. He was a big deal in Cairhien, and then, that was when Rand saw him, and he was, like, laughing in his cage, and then he went into the palace, and that's when we know that Elaine had seen him back at the palace, so...
Doesn't make any sense.
I'm just saying, it's a possibility of an old enemy.
No.
Okay, all right. Fine, disregard it.
I will. So, Logain has a sadness in his eyes, and is all slumpy and... sad.
Yes, very sad.
And an Accepted shows up and tells him that he shouldn't be here. And he says, I just want to go for a walk. And she says, well, then you have to go down in the garden. Like, there's only, like, certain places he's allowed to
play in the sun. Sun cures depression.
Yeah.
Don't you know? Go outside more.
Yeah, and he says, well, there's always got to be someone watching me to make sure I don't get my hands on a knife.
Yeah, so
and
he's going to kill himself.
For myself.
Yeah, which is, like, super sad.
Well... We already knew all about this, though.
I know, but, like, now that we see Logain in this... Like, we've heard about the fact that men want to kill themselves after they're gentled.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen it, and this guy is, like, on the brink, but just, like, has no will to even go down to the garden.
Is it bad that I want him to somehow get his power back? Is that bad that, like, that's what I want to happen?
How is that gonna work?
I have no idea. I want him and Rand to, like, team up together. I don't even know this guy at all. But, like, I don't know.
Okay, sure.
I think it would be interesting.
Okay, you should write a book. All your interesting theories.
Just the craziest.
Oh my god, okay.
I have the craziest story. All the crazy things happen. In my story. I want Logain to channel again. I feel bad for him.
And then be a dynamic duo.
Yeah.
Cool, sounds good.
No?
I'll write that down.
Oh.
I'll put that one next to your Tremonzian.
That was a good one, and people backed me up, and I'm not talking about it anymore.
Okay, let's continue.
Yeah.
So he's sad, he wants to kill himself.
So off he goes, no more powerful than any other man since he's been gentled, and I just think, okay, I'm wrong. Because for the longest time, I was like, he's not gentled until I see him, and he's gentled.
Yeah, he's gentled.
He's gentled.
Yeah, okay.
And sad.
Yes.
So Egwene asks if the men always have to be gentled.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably thinking about Rand at this point too, for sure.
Absolutely, because she talks of how Moraine and Anaya both talk about the greatest feats of the Age of Legends requiring men and women to work together with the power. And she thinks that the Aes Sedai should try to find another way to deal with the men who can channel.
Yeah, it turns out they tried.
Yeah, but the issue is, in the Age of Legends, the men weren't tainted and didn't go crazy and destroy the world.
Yeah. So there's that.
That's the major difference there.
So could you like get the guys before they go crazy, or like because we also still don't know how fast that progression happens.
It's true, we
and
don't.
That's a big question mark beside Rand as a character. So like how long?
That's what the Browns want to research.
Yeah,
they don't want them to be.
They want to study.
They want to lock them in a cage and see how long it takes them for them to go crazy.
Yeah, pursuit of knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, for about 300 years after the breaking, apparently Aes Sedai, they all tried to find another way, and then they gave up because there was nothing to find.
Yeah.
And it's prediction time.
Okay.
And not like dumb prediction, like Logan's going to get his powers back.
Okay.
But this is like series prediction.
Okay, so what are you thinking?
Egwene is going to somehow help find a way to have like Rand not be gentled. And like men not have to be gentled. She's going to save all the Aes Sedai.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that prediction.
Yeah.
So somehow,
She's very eager about this, and I just wrote in my notes.
She's like solution oriented.
What will she do?
Yeah.
What is Egwene going to do? Save all the Aes Sedai, perhaps?
Okay.
I have no idea how.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you have any like speculation? So like how to prevent them from going crazy somehow?
Prevent them from going crazy somehow.
A solution to not gentling, like an alternative?
Yes. Yeah, I think to keep the men being able to channel.
Yeah.
So they can get back to those amazing feats from
the
Age of Legends when men and women channel together.
Cool, okay.
And maybe she pictures herself and Rand channeling together. And, you know?
Okay. I like that.
Because that's the only way they work together.
Yeah.
Because they can't be together now.
Yes, that's true.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
so some
my
sort
prediction.
of reconnection between Egwene and Rand long term, and then.
And I don't even know if it's specifically about Rand, but I think that somehow
she's gonna save.
Maybe.
Aes Sedai.
She's really interested in it.
I like that. Okay.
So.
Let's keep track of that one.
Okay.
That's a big prediction.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's like series though. Like I'm not gonna find that out for like literally
a long
years.
time.
You better remember that 6 years from now.
I will, because it's all recorded. Okay. There we go.
Okay, so then Elaine says, "Come on, I want you to meet Min."
Yeah, enter Min.
And when I read this, I just laughed out loud. I had to like put my book down and just go, "What is happening?" This chapter just keeps getting better. These things are my favorite. Like, this is hilarious.
You know what? Why my least favorite thing is when all my exes get in a room together and start talking about me. It's the worst.
Oh, yeah. So good. It's like, it reminds me of when they were in the Ways camping.
Yeah.
And they were all like, "Tell me about how hot El Screwdwell was." And
then Perrin pipes up. He's like, "What about Aram?"
Yeah. It was so funny.
Yeah.
It was like literally that, except in like this chapter form. I just thought, this keeps getting better.
Yeah.
So Egwene recognizes Min when she sees her, and it goes, "Oh, hey, I know you." And then Min says, "Yeah, you're the one who brought the Dark Friends to my inn and burned it down."
Yeah, great.
Oh.
You know, she doesn't sound like that hurt about it.
No, she doesn't. She goes, "Don't worry, Master Fitch got enough gold to rebuild the inn twice as big." And so it's nice to know that Maureen follows through.
I wrote that down.
Yeah.
We get like, that's an easy thing where you could just say to your party, like, "Oh yeah, I'll make sure to send them gold.
Totally send him some gold.
Gonna send them tons of gold." But Maureen actually does.
Yes.
So that makes her like...
And not just like a little bit, like, sorry for your loss.
Like doubled up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's great. So we get that Min isn't here for Aes Sedai training.
Yeah.
Which is nice because I
like another
couldn't
novice.
handle like another.
Yeah.
Because she's not wearing the dress.
Yeah.
And she goes, "I will dress how I like. I am not an Aes Sedai in training. I like my pants."
Yeah.
Like,
and she can't channel.
Yes.
But she does have the visions, but they're not power based.
That's right.
And we had that whole discussion way back when.
Yeah, but it sounds like she really doesn't like Aes Sedai or the training process. Like, she's making fun of it a lot.
Well, she's...
Yes, Aes Sedai. No, Aes Sedai. Let me sweep the floor for you. You know, like...
She's not going to be...
I like her.
She's not going along with that.
No.
So.
But she looks at Egwene and asks, "Is Rand well?"
Yeah. Oh, geez. I love Egwene's response.
She just ignores it.
Like,
avoids
why are you
the
here?
question. Yeah.
Why are you in Tarvalon?
Yeah. "Oh, sorry about your inn burning down."
Yeah.
And it's clear that Min is not meant to be an Aes Sedai. So why are you here?
Yeah.
And then Min sort of raises an eyebrow at her, and Elaine explains, oh, she likes Rand.
Yeah.
And Min says, I know.
Yeah, there you go. That makes sense.
Yeah. But then she tells Egwene that she was sent for.
Yes.
And wasn't really given a choice at all.
Doesn't sound like it.
Because she sees things, and the Aes Sedai want to study how she does it because it isn't to do with the power.
Yeah, and this is kind of interesting because when we first met Min, we knew that Maureen had a relationship with Min, with the whole visions she'd been with to her before and everything like that. And we did kind of seem like Min tried to avoid Aes Sedai in general, but now she's just like an Aes Sedai Central. So this her secret, if it is a secret, is definitely going to get out.
Well, and if Moraine is actually the one who sent for her, like, it doesn't make sense because Moraine likes to have her little connections everywhere.
And secret. She doesn't like to share information.
No, she doesn't. It actually doesn't make a lot of sense to me that Moraine would send for her to be here.
Yeah.
Unless there's like a dire need for it.
Yeah, and it seems like it's one of two things. Either that Moraine did send for her and it is a dire situation, but it is also interesting that Moraine is not here.
Yeah.
Because we know she took off a little bit unexpectedly, possibly.
I don't think Moraine's at the tower right now. She's on Tarvalin.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. Is like she took off from the crew back when they were leaving.
Yeah.
Or it's like fake that Moraine sent for her and it's some sort of
and it's
plot.
Something else and someone else who like
something
found
devious.
out. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Elaine laughs and explains that Min is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And she like sees these things. She sees all sorts of things. Like she says that she is going to share her husband with 2 other women.
Interesting.
But she'd never put up with that.
Yeah.
And Min also said that Elaine would be queen before she even knew who she was. And she said she saw a crown, a rose crown of Andor.
Yeah. So that kind of makes sense because she's the daughter heir.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense that she will at some point become the queen.
The queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the craziest prediction, but Min didn't know her yet, so there's that.
Right.
But let's talk about that. Share the husband with 2 other women.
Yeah, because my prediction is that Elaine's going to marry Rand.
Because there was that whole, right from the beginning, you were like, it's definitely an Emmons Field.
And so here's the thing about when I predict something.
Yeah.
Oh man, now it's canon. Now it's headcanon. Now it's real, and that's what's going to happen. Okay. Until it doesn't.
Until it totally doesn't.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So who are the 2 other women?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing. I went back to the Eye of the World.
Yeah.
And I wanted to read what Min had to say about Rand.
Oh, good. Okay. I'm glad.
Are you?
Yes,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
I had to back up just in case.
Did you?
So, yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Okay, so interesting because Rand says, "What about me?" And her grin stopped short of outright laughter.
Yeah.
The same kinds of thing as the rest. A sword that isn't a sword, a golden crown of laurel leaves, a beggar's staff, you pouring water on sand, a bloody hand, and a white-hot iron, 3 women standing over a funeral bier with you on it, and Black Rock wet with blood.
Okay. So let's talk specifically about those
the 3 women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So those 3 women would be...
Well, I do get a little bit of a Sister Wives vibe at the end of this chapter when they all hug and they're like, let's be best friends and never let a man come between us.
Especially Rand.
Yeah, the only
one... They said
I...
especially him, but they're totally talking about Rand.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So the only one I don't see being a part of that is Egwene.
Okay,
because Min said they're not for each other.
She did say that.
And so if...
You're not for...
So if all of this is strictly from Min's visions.
Yeah.
Like all of it.
Yeah.
The 3 women.
Yeah.
Around him. The Elaine sharing her husband with 2 other women.
Yeah.
And Min saying that Rand and her are going to meet again.
And that's why she was laughing and be like,
giggling, winking,
you can't escape me.
You can't get away from me.
And Rand's like, oh my god, this woman.
But she also said that Egwene is not for him.
Okay, so you're saying that it's going to be Elaine,
Min,
and who's number 3?
Yeah, I don't know. Else Grinwood. No.
Nynaeve?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh God.
Maureen?
No.
Okay.
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 I mean, like, I feel like there's a lot of people.
Is there a maybe beside Maureen?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. No.
Okay.
I think that there are a lot of characters left to meet.
So you think it's someone we haven't met yet?
It's just open.
Okay.
That's all.
Do you think that third is like a rotational? It could be multiple people, or
Could be.
Who knows?
I bet Min knows.
I mean, okay.
Maybe not though.
Well, it sounds like she knows. She doesn't know everything. She just knows the things that she sees. And
maybe she
saw.
Maybe she saw the women though. She saw 3 women.
She does. She does.
And she sees the 2 other women.
Yeah.
That Elaine is gonna share her husband with.
Maybe the third woman's like a blurry face still.
Yeah. Do you want to hear one more thing that really solidifies this?
Sure.
That a little bit later in that same paragraph, at first I didn't even really make note of it at all because it was something that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
The whole a severed hand.
Yeah.
Thing.
And that was one of the things in.
A severed hand is what Min sees for Elaine.
Yeah.
But it's not Elaine's severed hand.
That's true.
But in reading this again, back in Eye of the World in chapter 15.
Yeah.
A bloody hand.
Yeah.
So,
not a severed hand.
Not a severed hand and not necessarily his bloody hand.
That's very true.
But there seems to be a connection, and if I overlook it, I would think people would think I was stupid.
So what's your prediction with the bloody / severed hand? Whose hand is this? His third wife's? Or
I don't know. Maybe they have like a child, and the
child's hand?
No,
oh my
God.
God.
That's terrible.
Okay.
Okay, I guess it's Rand.
Great. It's Rand's hand?
I don't know.
Is it just bloodied or is it severed?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Because with Rand, maybe she didn't have the full picture, and now Elaine is there, so
there's like a more clear picture?
A more clear picture. I can't say yet.
Is Elaine going to be the one to like sever the hand?
I sure hope a Jaime Lannister situation.
Chop! Done.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what?
Luke Skywalker situation. There's lots of people who get their hands cut off.
We did a bonus episode about
Luke
Skywalker is basically Rand and vice versa. So.
Well, and he gets his hand cut off, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That pretty much solidifies that it has to be Rand.
Okay.
I don't know.
It is great.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, you're forcing me to say things. I just don't know.
It's all on the record, so yeah.
Okay. I hate when you laugh to yourself. What?
Nothing. Let's keep moving.
Okay, so that was me putting pieces of the puzzle together.
There's a lot of pieces.
I think that's good, but it's the part I struggle the most with about that prediction is it is solely based on Min's visions, and how much do I trust in Min's visions?
Well, from what we know, her visions always come true.
Well, from what we know, but like, do I personally trust it or
That's
believe it?
That's a good question. Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Moving on. So Egwene asks Min, "What do you see when you look at me?"
Yeah.
That seems to be the like. You can't help but ask. You're so curious.
Yeah. Well, we went to a fortune teller once.
I know. We spent way too much money on that.
It was like, what, $40 or something?
At some fringe festival.
Yeah.
It was like $80. It was
no,
so stupid.
No way.
Yeah, it was
I don't
bad.
believe you.
It was stupid. Because it was supposed to be $40, but then there were 2 of us, I think.
Oh, yeah.
We got swindled.
That's way back when
we got swindled by a gypsy.
Told us we were going to live in the country.
In a farm.
Hasn't happened yet. So.
Not yet.
Okay, there's still time.
Yeah.
You know what? If we end up on a farm...
Money well spent.
There you go. All right.
Okay. So Min glances at her, but then almost like doesn't want to tell her what she actually sees.
Yeah.
She says a white flame.
Yeah.
And all sorts of things. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't buy it.
Yeah. I mean, the white flame, that's pretty vague.
It's clearly Aes Sedai.
But that's not a secret.
No.
It's like, hey, novice in training who's super powerful.
Yeah.
You're going to be an Aes Sedai.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing I can think of with the white flame thing is that it's the other half. It's like one half of the
of the Aes Sedai symbol. Yeah.
So that just sort of I'm reading into the whole thing where she's going to like unite White Flame
okay. And save all the
Dragon Fang, whatever.
Okay.
whatever.
I get that.
Okay, so at this point, 2 men are walking up to them, and Egwene notes that one of them is the most handsome man she's ever seen.
Oh my goodness. And she's stricken.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know what
He
the word
bows
is, but
over her hand. I say flustered.
flustered. Yeah. Taken with.
Oh my goodness.
So
she
much
is
so
a
that.
smitten kitten.
Yeah. Poor Gawain has to introduce himself again.
Twice.
Oh, because she's just like staring at Galad.
Yeah, and then I had to write, now is this the terrible half-brother?
Yeah.
Because at first, I thought she was smitten with Gawain.
Yeah, no.
Which would make more sense, because he's like more their age, and...
Yeah, she's smitten with the really, really, really ridiculously good one. Good-looking one.
Good-looking one.
Yeah.
The one who's almost pretty for a man.
Yeah.
I think that's how Rand described him.
Zoolander pretty. Like, we're talking, male model pretty.
Okay. So, Gawain says his name again, and then they make fun of Egwene a little bit.
Yep.
And Galad says that he would like to see Egwene again and asks her out on a date.
Yeah, this is like a can I court you situation.
Yeah,
so.
and she says that would be nice.
Okay, interesting.
And thinks about again how handsome he is.
Yeah.
And she like tries to settle herself and think of Rand.
Which is like why?
I don't know. It's just this like commonality because every time Rand was like talking to Celine, he'd think about Egwene.
Yeah.
And so this is just another instant.
And then it's like almost hypocritical if you're like, oh, getting jealous about the fact that these girls like Rand, and then you're like,
yep.
You know.
Yep.
Okay.
Welcome to like literally being a teenager and never having been in a relationship.
Yeah, right. There's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's a problem.
Shoot.
So Galad leaves and Min says that he will always do what's right no matter who he hurts. But I feel like we've heard that before.
But Min says it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Min saying something like that, it's pretty ominous.
Okay. So Gawain and Elaine explain that he's their half-brother. They share the same father. And Elaine hates this and won't accept him as her brother.
I love Elaine's rants.
Yeah.
She's like, he's not my brother. He's the worst. Yeah. He's so nice to everyone.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
But he's not necessarily nice, but he's a goody two-shoes.
Yes.
He's a guy who's going to go and snitch on everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we also learned that Galad is excellent with a sword.
Like the best.
And doesn't take him long to catch on to all of the warder lessons.
Yeah.
And Gawain is not so hot with the sword. Like, he's fine.
Yeah.
But he's nowhere near as good as Galad is.
Well, every time we see Gawain and Galad, like, Gawain's like, what is it, overshadowed is the word by Galad. Like, Galad's the better looking one, the one who all the girls like are into. He's better with the sword. Galad saved Gawain's life, even though he's first prince of the sword.
Yeah.
And that's why Gawain kind of defends Galad.
Yeah, I owe him my life. So,
yeah,
okay.
Because it's like happened a couple times.
Yeah, but Elaine tells Gawain that Egwene is from the same village as Rand. And then he gets super interested and asks her if Rand was really born there.
Interesting question.
Yeah, and she says, of course, I grew up with him. And he nods and says, strange, because Rand never acted like any shepherd that he's ever seen.
Yeah.
Plus, Gawain has met a bunch of people who've all met Rand, and it seems like he's shifted everyone's lives. You could almost think that he's Taviren.
Yeah. Taviren, yeah.
And I went, oh, look at Gawain being all smart.
Yeah.
And piecing things together. It's like Gawain's reading this book.
Yeah. Well, Gawain's not necessarily... He's not an idiot. He's trained. Like, he's a trained prince.
No, I know, but no one else looks at things that are happening in the world. Or like, that's what's happening in this book.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm looking at things that are happening in the world all around these people and piecing things together.
Yeah.
But no one else in the book...
He's, like, observing.
...is looking around at what's happening in the world and piecing things together. But he is.
He is.
And he did it.
So
he solved the problem.
There you go. Figured it out.
Also, why else Grinwell is here.
It makes sense. Because people who come in contact with Rand, the strings of the pattern kind of get pulled in that direction.
Yeah, and it's almost like Gawain is just interested. I wonder what direction he's going to pull us in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the story about the farmer, though. Like, the farmer that Rand met, and then that farmer stayed during the during the riots and, like, defended Morgaze because he was inspired by Rand. Like, definitely a little bit, like, and pulls on my heartstrings.
Yeah, so, and, like, people who didn't even know his name and just, like, know him from his appearance have been affected by him. Yeah,
which is, like, really cool, but also terrible because Rand is, like, almost trying to lay low most of the time.
Oh, he's so bad at that.
But turns out everyone notices him all the time.
I know. Yeah. And Egwene sort of hesitates. She hadn't thought of that before.
Oh, even though that I've had people tell.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
oh, to Viren.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, it's funny that Loyal totally
Could he
catches on
be?
immediately.
Yeah.
Though, so
But then abruptly she says, I really like you all, and I
Yeah.
want to be your friend.
let's be best friends.
And, Elaine hugs her, and then Min jumps down and says that we three are tied together and cannot let any man get in the way of that.
And just to clarify, Egwene is not the third
In my mind.
in your mind.
I did say serious sister wives vibes here,
Okay.
except I'm wary of Egwene in that.
So here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
How is Rand, the boy
I
who
know.
is like so smitten with Celine taking off her shirt,
I know.
gonna handle 3
Not
women?
well.
No. Not well, okay.
It sounds to me like he's going to end up with women who are very strong forward women.
Yes, okay.
And they're the ones who are basically going to do all the work
Okay,
in
okay.
getting him
Yeah.
to agree to do things.
He's not like the pursuer
He's just
in
gonna
this
be
situation.
all along for the ride because I don't see him being
He's not
an
a pursuer,
aggressor
yeah.
in any sense.
Where he's like, let's all get married. Because
No.
I want 3 wives.
No, it's gonna happen by accident because he just can't say no to anybody.
Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, I'm promised to Egwene. I'll just still marry her, and then it's like he would have just married Celine if she said let's get married. He'd be like, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
But then he'd be
okay.
also still married to Egwene, and it would have just been an accident, and he'd be like, shoot.
Ooh, do you think
I
that's...
hope that they're okay with this.
Do you think Celine could be the third?
No.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Celine is
okay.
land fear, Brett.
Okay.
She's
Yeah.
a fucking Forsaken.
Sure. Okay.
I'm still waiting to hear that,
I know.
but
We'll see how long you have to wait.
I think too long.
Okay.
So Gawain is confused because women,
Yeah.
So complex.
Yeah.
and then he says that if any of this has to do with Rand al'Thor, they best not be telling Elida anything because she's been questioning him 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And then-
enter stage left.
Name the Dark One and he appears.
Yeah. Elida shows up.
Speak of the devil.
Here you go.
And Gawain takes off, and Elaine introduces Elida to Egwene and says that they're at the same point in training, and she calls her Elida, but apparently is speaking much too casually.
Yes, much too.
To her, she gets scolded. They are not in Cairhien anymore. They're at the White Tower, and Elaine is a novice, and Elida is an Aes Sedai,
Yeah.
and Elaine is not to speak to her unless she's spoken to.
You know what? I'm on Elida's side here, though.
Yeah.
Honestly, because there has to be that professional separation.
I do. I think
where-
a warning here at this point. This is the first time Elaine has seen her since they've gotten here. We get that.
Yeah.
So I think some sort of don't do that, but it's
Immediate punishment.
to Sheriam's study.
Go get your beating.
Yeah, pretty much.
So.
So Min makes to leave, but Elida stops her and says, I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And a gong sounds to signal hi.
Yep.
And Elida says that Elaine has to go to Sheriam's study after chores for punishment. And she tells them both to run so they won't be late.
Yeah, get going.
And they start to go and hear behind them that Elida is asking Min about being brought here by Moiraine Sedai.
Interesting.
Very.
Yes.
Scene change.
To
Min.
Yeah,
Min's perspective. Because I thought we were going to leave on that.
Yeah.
And then we miss it. But no, I like that we get it.
We get a 1 paragraph, just a little
just a
hint.
snippet. And
yeah.
it's after Elida's questioning. And Min is on her own now. And she wonders how Elida knew that it was Moiraine that summoned her.
Yeah.
She thought that was a secret, and so that's confusing.
Yeah, so apparently only Sheriam and Moiraine and her are supposed to know that. So how did that get out?
Yeah.
But, I mean, who knows? How did Moiraine get the message to Min? Did someone intercept the message? What's going on?
Yeah, definitely something's going on. And Elida also had a bunch of questions about Rand.
Yeah.
So, good thing she managed to keep a straight face and say that she's never heard of him and knew nothing about him.
Yeah, whether or not Elida believes that.
I don't think her face was that good.
Yeah.
But Min thinks that, she's super pissed off at Moiraine and wants her to come out from where she's hiding and tell her why she's brought her here so that she can go already.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Makes sense that she doesn't want to like be there, but it just really begs the question: did Maureen actually send for her? What's going on? So yeah, it's tough.
It is, yep. And I don't have any answers for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so no time to lose. I really want to get right into chapter 25.
Yeah, this is a
Cairhien.
good one. Yep.
Yep. So there is a picture of a sun.
Yeah, rising sun. That is a symbol for Cairhien.
Just the banner, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Rand and the squad are rolling up to the city of Cairhien with 50 soldiers and one officer guy.
Yeah, Tavolin.
Yeah. Yep. And Rand is a little bit on like high alert of these people, and Hurin and Loyal don't really seem to notice. And I think it's probably good for Rand to be a little suspicious of something here.
Well, he should be. This is like a weird situation in general.
Yeah, then later he just turns a corner of like full paranoia.
Yeah.
And it goes bad. So, like, I applaud him here, but I am not pumped about his suspicious nature later.
Yeah, he doesn't have the best like
tact.
He doesn't make good choices.
No, he makes really bad choices all the time.
Yeah,
every choice is bad.
Be like, that choice is bad. Yeah,
but here's the thing, though: if he truly is Ta'Veren, does he himself even have control over his choices?
We had a discussion about fate.
Yeah,
and that's the question: is how much is this him, or how much is this the pattern pulling him in the right direction?
Yeah, but the things he says could be said better.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you here, so.
Okay, so we learned that Cairhien is sitting right on a river, and the city walls go right from riverbank to riverbank.
Yeah.
And so outside the city walls is called Foregate.
Yeah, party town.
Aptly named.
Yeah.
Because it's right before the gate.
Yes, it's the Foregate.
It's the Foregate.
Yeah. So party central.
Yeah. There are people milling around everywhere. Huge market festival party time.
Yeah.
Except that it's just always, at one point Rand goes, is there a festival going on?
Yeah.
And they're like, every day.
This is like Tuesday.
Yeah. And at one point their procession sort of is stopped because a parade of puppets has to go by.
Yeah.
And we learn that the king keeps these people happy by providing entertainment, and then they don't cause problems for him.
Yeah, this is like
which is fair.
It is, but also Loyal seems to like not like, well, Elder Hammond thinks that Galdrian is a disgrace.
Yeah.
And we've also gotten the whole thing like, they didn't really defend the Dragon Wall, so why are they called the Defenders of the Dragon Wall?
Yeah.
Because they didn't do it very well, so it's a weird mishmash. And then we have Tavolin, who just doesn't like poor people.
No, he fucking hates them. Yeah.
Like, hates the peasants.
Because Rand starts thinking that this is a super cool and fun place, and he loves it.
And he's like, then poor people are disgusting. Oh, man.
His officer Tavolin goes, peasants.
Yeah.
They should not be here. And Rand goes, where should they be?
Yeah.
It's like, Rand, keep your mouth closed.
Well, I mean, cue little history lesson here. So we learned that basically the farmers who used to be by the spine of the world.
Well, no, hold on. Not from Tavolin.
Yeah.
Because Tavolin just glares at Rand and rides away. And then Hurin comes in. Hurin is the unsung hero of this chapter.
Yeah.
He is Rand's savior.
Yeah.
If there is any saving to be had.
Yeah, he's like the little, hey man, don't do that. Hey, this is what's up.
Yeah.
He's like the little paperclip in Microsoft Office that like helps you out.
Oh yeah.
Clippy.
I see that you are trying to write a resume.
Maybe I can be of assistance. All the poor people are here because they didn't want to go back to farming at the spine.
Yeah.
Because the IEL came and killed everybody.
Right. So they just stayed here. They were too scared to go back to their farms. And now there are no farms to the east at all. And the king has barges of grains shipped from Andor and Tyr.
Yeah.
But it's best not to mention that here because Cairhien likes to pretend that there either was no war.
Yep.
Or they won the war.
And the way to do that is to always be drunk.
Uh-huh.
By partying.
Cool.
Hence the puppets.
Yeah.
Now, the fun
Outside
fact...
the walls.
That's true, yeah. Inside is, like, really, really glum. But, yeah, we'll get to there in a second. But the fun fact was about puppets, so I have to talk a little bit about the puppets. And I'm sure that when you were reading the descriptions of the puppets, you're like, hey, these all sound really familiar, like mythical monsters.
Sure.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay, so we have a lion with wings. So that's probably something called a lamassu, which is interesting because the winged lion is the first vision of the winged lion is because the first vision of the biblical prophet Daniel resembled a winged lion, which is kind of cool. And a lamassu is a mythical monster. We don't have to get into that. And then the goat on its hind legs with two heads breathing fire, it's a little bit like a chimera. And you definitely know what that is. So that is like a fire-breathing lion that typically had a head of a goat protruding from its back, and its tail sometimes could be the head of a snake. Chimeras can be like all sorts of mishmash of different monsters and creatures. And then the half cat, half eagle is probably a griffin.
Oh yeah, I know griffins.
Yeah. It's got the wings and head of an eagle and then the like hindquarters of like a lion or a cat. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And then a very poorly made Trolloc. Yeah.
And Rand's like, that doesn't look like a Trolloc.
Yeah, he's all like smug.
Yeah.
Whoever made that has never seen one.
Yeah.
I don't think actually Rand's. I think that was Huron who said that, but
Okay.
still the same.
Yeah. So they get to the gate, and Tovolin tells Rand to wait a moment while he talks to the gate guard. And Rand sees the inside of Cairhien and thinks about how it's a sharp contrast to the foregate. It's all paved streets that intersect all at right angles.
Yeah, yeah.
It kind of reminded me of, like, New York.
It's a grid system, motherfucker. Where are you at? 24th and 5th? Where you want to go? 35th and 6th? 9 up and 1 over, you simple bitch. There you go.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I just want to hear like that in the TV show if you can do that.
Sure, yeah.
John Mulaney have a cameo.
Yeah. Just like in the foregate.
In the foregate
as a
party.
drunk partier. Sure, why not?
If we can do like a petition to make that happen,
Wow.
I'd sign that petition in a heartbeat.
Why not? So we definitely get that there are no hawkers or peddlers, and definitely no one yelling out on these streets. And they don't wear bright clothing. They all wear like gray.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And like nobody is like there's no nothing.
Sounds terrible.
It doesn't sound very good.
We learned something about the topless towers of Cairhien.
Nothing that we didn't already hear.
Sure.
The topless towers of Cairhien got burned down during the Aiel War, and they're just like rebuilding them.
But like taller or something?
Well, not yet. No.
Okay.
No, they're rebuilding them that have burned down. So they're not as good as they used to be, but they're trying.
Okay.
They're doing their best.
And it's pretty hard to talk about a war that didn't exist when you have these burned down towers that you're rebuilding.
Yeah.
So, okay. Anyway, Loyal says that there are no Ogier here now, though there were some when he came through before.
Yeah. And we heard a little bit about that too.
Yes. But it's just sort of an interesting note.
Yeah.
And so Tovolin comes back out with a guard guy and 2 clerks, and they look at Rand, and then they look at the chest under the blanket, and then they look at Rand, and then they look at his sword, and Tovolin announces them.
Yes.
You know, Lord Randall Thor of the 2 Rivers of Andor.
I hear the louder you announce it, the more important they are.
Yeah, so. And his man, Huron.
And the Ogier.
And the Ogier of studying Shangtai. And so the clerk writes their names in this book ledger thing.
Yeah.
And Rand is told that he has to return to this guardhouse by this hour tomorrow and inform the guard of the inn they have chosen to stay at.
Yeah, so here's a question. Knowing what we know after reading this chapter about the whole, like, Days de Mar, Game of Houses, everything like that, do you think that this whole you got to come back and report to us on your whereabouts is a, like, everybody who enters has to do this, or is this like a Rand has to do this situation?
I think that this is anyone who enters from somewhere else.
Like any foreigner who comes in, it's like you gotta... Okay.
I don't think they trust anyone. And I think they especially don't trust an Aiel who is claiming to be from Andor. I think that doesn't help his case.
Yeah, probably not the best, so... Okay.
So Rand is an idiot, I don't know if I've mentioned that already.
I think you once or twice, yeah.
So he asks for a good inn in the foregate.
Yeah, like, no, man.
And Huron jumps in right away and is like, no,
No,
that would not be proper, Lord Brand.
Yeah.
And so if you stay out there, they will definitely know something is up for sure.
Yeah.
And so he wants to tell them all that he isn't playing their game of houses. But instead he says that he will take his room in the city.
Phew.
Which is excellent because they were looking at him like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Rand goes to head in to Cairhien, and then he thinks about Celine.
Yep.
And he asks the guards about the Lady Celine, who is from Cairhien, but he doesn't know her house.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
Yeah.
They exchange looks, and the guard says, I will inquire around, and maybe I will know something when you come tomorrow.
But she's, like, super hot also, so, like, have
she
you seen her?
Beautiful.
Do you have her number?
Yeah,
no? Okay.
No. So they head into the city, and even though they attract little notice, Rand feels like people are starting to stare at him a lot.
Yes. Probably because he looks like an Aiel.
Yeah.
Probably that.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing. Huron leads them to an inn called the Defender of the Dragon Wall, and a sign shows a man standing with his foot on another man's chest and a sword to the guy's throat, and the guy on his back has red hair.
And looks like Rand.
And I went,
Oh, no.
Maybe don't stay at the place where they have a sign where the guy with red hair is getting killed.
Yeah. It's like a bad omen.
Jeez.
Okay.
Gosh, Rand.
So anyways, let's go in and get a room.
Yeah. And so that's why everyone's looking at him. At this point, it all clicked for me. And I'm
Okay.
like, oh, he looks Aiel, and they hate Aiel.
Yeah, so they're close. And that's a good note about, like, the separation of these countries, of what they experience. Like, we have
They're
people...
racist towards Aiel.
Well, they definitely are, so... Yeah. But, like, Illianers way down south don't even think Fades and Trollocs are real. And then in Camelin, they don't know what an Ogier is, and they, like, chase Loyal through the streets. And here, they don't like Aiel because they got red hair and they know what they look like.
Yeah.
But they're cool with Ogiers, so it's like... In Cairhien, it's a little bit different than all the other cities.
Yeah.
But this separation of space is a huge, huge issue.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. So, the innkeeper is plump.
Which is good.
That's good.
Yep.
And he gives a start when they walk in and says, oh, forgive me, my lord. For a moment, I took you for...
Aiel.
Forgive me.
Right.
And then Rand is picking up on things, and he thinks sourly... He thought I was Aiel.
Ugh, how dare he?
And now Rand is racist towards Aiels. He hates them.
He doesn't want to look like one. Okay.
Want to look like one. Well, this is a bad place to look like one.
This is not good. This is like a bad situation altogether.
Yeah, he wants to leave Cairhien, but he knows it's the best place for Ingtar to find him, plus Celine.
Yes, so prediction time.
Yeah.
Is Rand going to meet up with Ingtar in Cairhien?
I want him to leave, so I hope not.
You want him to go
I think it's bad for him to be
back
here.
to Faldara or somewhere else?
I have no idea. I don't even care. I don't care where he goes.
Just not here?
It's bad that he's here. And he is super tightly wound and super uptight being here as well. Like, he's on high alert about this whole dumb Game of Houses thing.
Yeah.
And it's bad for Rand to be here.
Yes.
This is bad.
Yeah.
So I want him to go.
Okay.
And I don't know how far behind Ingtar and them would actually be.
So, like, we're talking maximum amount of, like, nights staying here. Like, we want to stay here a week. We want to stay here, like, 2 days.
I want him, like, leaving, like, today.
Okay.
I don't want him staying the night. Like, that's my gut. And he even had that gut feeling at the gate.
Yeah.
He was like, what would they do if we just turned around and left now?
Yeah.
Like, he wanted to do that, but he, like, knew he couldn't.
Yeah, so, okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think that
Seems bad.
laying low is going to work here.
Okay.
And we get that in a minute because, so they get their rooms. They're not allowed to have their, like, 3 people to a room because they'll be scandalized.
Very scandalized.
If Rand shares a room with his man.
Yeah,
here.
his servant.
Yeah. And so Rand says that he is going to go back to the foregate for an hour or so because at least people laugh there.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea for Rand to, like, leave
by himself.
ever
Yeah.
by himself or do anything, but it doesn't matter. Loyal agrees to take the first watch over the Horn.
Yep.
And he wants to catch up on some reading. And really, he just doesn't want to go out into the city because he doesn't want to run into any
He's a runner.
gear.
Yeah. He ran away 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
it's likely, there's news from studying Shanghai that Loyal the Ogier is missing.
Yeah, because last time he didn't do a very good job with his cover story, so now, there's a chance that if Loyal gets, caught.
And Rand keeps going, oh, well, I'm sure you want to go see the city. And
Nope.
Loyal's like, I'm good.
I'm good. I'm going to stay in a room. I'm going to read.
Yeah, and then even Hurin is like, I'm just going to have a drink in the common room.
But he asks permission to have a drink in the common room.
Yeah, he does.
So.
And Rand's like, you don't have to do that, man. But
Hurin's like, but can I?
Yeah. Yeah. So they head down together, and then the innkeeper is there, and he has 3 parchments on a tray for Rand.
Yeah, so this is good. I like this, because right here is where we get a look at what Days de Mar actually is.
Yeah.
This game of houses is a real thing.
Yeah. And, except I don't think you're supposed to talk about it.
No, that's the thing.
You're not supposed to yell about it in a common room.
Actually, that's the best move you can do, turns out.
It's bad. So...
That's a super pro move.
It's a move.
Yeah.
It's a move, all right.
It is, yeah.
So these are invitations from noble houses of Cairhien for Lord Rand of Andor to come for a visit.
Lord Rand of House
Althor
from Andor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this is just it for Rand. And he takes them and hurls them into the fire and shouts that he is not playing your game of houses. And Hurin is like, oh my god,
This isn't how you play.
God.
Oh no.
Hurin is like, please don't do that again. And Rand is like, gah, again? You think there will be more?
It's like, yeah,
and
there's
Hurin
going
goes,
to be more.
Yeah, man. And you've surely made enemies of 3 houses already.
Well, you burned the invitations, but this is the catch to it is that if you accept
you have
one...
to answer at least. Even if you decline.
Yeah.
But then they're going to be watching to see whose invitation you decline and whose you accept. And Rand's like, I will have no part in this. We are leaving Cairhien as soon as we can.
Yeah.
So I hope that that's true.
Well, we just have to kind of wait and see how dangerous this whole making enemies thing really is.
Yeah.
But just so you know, it's clearly Moiraine's fault. What's happening right now?
Oh, yes.
So.
Yeah, it's very fair for Rand to completely blame Moiraine for this.
Yeah.
Well, and he does stand out in his red coat.
He does. And he can't wait to get a new one.
And he's in a city that sells gray coats.
I don't know. I don't think so. We didn't see any stores at all anywhere.
Well, we did see lots of stores.
Yeah. I know. I was joking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, but he had the thought, I can't wait to get rid of this coat. But, he's had an opportunity to.
Oh, yeah.
He just hasn't.
Yes.
So
anyway, Rand freaks out in the inn, startles the innkeeper, throws everyone off. Everyone's like, oh my god, what's going on?
Yeah, with his pro move.
Okay.
I'm just saying,
something like that.
That's the best move, apparently.
Everyone's just
I'm not playing.
Well, and then they just don't even make eye contact with him.
Because they're he's for sure playing super hard.
Yeah, only people who announce they aren't playing the game.
They're the best players.
They're the best players. So Rand leaves all angrily, and he heads for the foregate, and the guard guy takes notice of him leaving, but Rand could give a shit. He's like, whatever, man. And he passes all these places with musicians and jugglers, and he passes a place where a glee man is reciting the great hunt for the horn.
Yeah.
And it makes him think of Tom Marilyn, and he gets all sad and stuff because he thinks Tom's dead.
And I let him die.
Yeah. And in this second that he thinks he's reminded of Tom Marilyn, I thought to myself, I bet Tom is here.
I know you did.
And I bet no one will believe me because it's too... I seriously...
It's convenient, but
It's convenient, but I seriously did.
Yeah.
I didn't ever believe he was in Ilion.
Wait, so you weren't super fooled by this chapter? You weren't oh my god, he's actually alive?
No.
Yeah.
Let's get there, though. Because, seriously, I was like, oh my god, I bet he's here.
Yeah.
This is the place for Glee Man. Glee Men, this is great.
This is the place.
And I went, oh my god, he's thinking of Tom. He's going to run into Tom.
That would be
Tom's
great.
here.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And the second I thought that, then the next page,
He's like, hey,
oh my God.
Tom's here.
Hey.
And it's kind of like a weird reunion.
It is weird. Okay, so he keeps going. Rand just like keeps wandering because he's like, oh, I can't think of my dead friend Tom. And someone is yelling about 2 coppers to see the Aes Sedai. And Rand says, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And he keeps going. And then he hears another Gleeman telling another story. And the voice draws him in.
And it's probably because it's familiar.
Yeah, and he pushes through the crowd and shoves a bunch of coins at a guy who's telling him to pay 2 coppers. And he walks in a daze. And it's Tom Marilyn.
With his long mustaches.
Alive.
So you're saying officially that I was not able to convince you that
never,
Tom
not once, never
was dead.
No, this
but you
one
know what?
I stuck to. And I had to wait almost a full book.
You still have a cold heart for not thinking that time when Tom presumably died. That was a sad moment.
No, it wasn't. It was awesome.
Oh my God.
It was great.
He was like sacrificing
Except
himself.
I thought he was going to kill the Fade.
Yeah.
But we get that, no.
That did not happen.
No.
So
Tom sees Rand and nods to a doorway. And so Rand goes out and he sort of waits there. And then Tom shows up and is like, man, all they want to hear is the Great Hunt. It's so annoying. And he's super casual. Like, not like Rand thought he's been dead for months.
Yeah.
He just thinks he's reuniting with a bud.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
He's like, I don't know. Like, I guess Tom, it didn't cross his mind that Rand would think that Tom is dead.
Or, well, here's the alternative to that. Because we know we're in a city where everyone watches what everyone does. So maybe Tom's just, like, trying to not draw attention to the fact that...
But then he, like, talks about it and everything.
Yeah, but, you know, like, you can't be like, oh my God, it's Tom. No, and, like, waving your hands.
I don't think that Tom would ever do that anyway.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to be sly.
But his reaction isn't like, here I am, I survived, and I know you were so worried about me, and here I am.
Doesn't really care.
He doesn't give a shit.
Doesn't care that much.
No, he does not.
Well, maybe we'll learn more about that.
Especially because Rand is like, oh man, I thought you were dead. Moraine said you weren't, but I thought you were, and it's so good to see you.
Yeah. So, turns out the Fade just, like, didn't really care.
Had no interest once the boys left, and he turned and went after them. Like, they fought a little and gave Tom a bad leg.
Yeah.
But...
Probably got stabbed in his leg somehow or something.
Something.
So, yeah.
But
let's get to the juicy details.
Well, about what?
Tom.
Tom. Oh, right.
Smitten with Moraine a little bit.
Well, you gotta let me come to that conclusion. Yeah. Because Tom asks if Moraine is still with him. She thought I was alive, did she?
Yeah.
And Rand says, no. And then Tom seems a little bit disappointed.
Yeah.
And he says, too bad. In a weird way, she's a fine woman.
Yeah.
Interesting. Which is really super interesting and really weird. Because I think, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that in a bonus episode we did, in like a Q&A, a long time ago, someone asked me to ship all of the relationship or all of the characters into relationships.
Yeah.
And as a joke, I said that Tom and Moraine were going to get together.
Yeah.
As like a joke because I thought Tom hated Moraine. Like I thought they knew each other, but I thought they really didn't like each other.
Well, there's also still an assumption that they may know of each other.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that it's a coincidence, you know, all of that stuff with him leaving the Queen. I don't think you become the Queen of Andor's, like, side piece, ghost the Queen, and then the, like, White Tower doesn't know about it.
Yeah, that's very true.
For sure, Maureen knows of him if she's not...
And we know that Tom used to be like a court bard who went to different
places and whatever.
And Maureen's from Cairhien.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a history, but I thought they didn't like each other, and I thought it was funny to ship them into a relationship. But now I think they're gonna get together.
Well, we also had that during their journey, they weren't like in a hatred relationship. We had a scene where Tom...
She gave a delighted laugh.
Because Tom was like flourishing his knives to appear tough, to like intimidate the... I think it was the ferry men or something.
Ferry,
and she like gave the delighted laugh. So like a couple of hints here and there. So, yeah.
But this solidifies it.
Well, this solidifies that there may be some interest, but we don't know.
Yeah, I know. I'm
what
trying to
happens
picture
with that,
Moraine
so.
being into this at all.
And then we also have Moraine, who's like foreseeing her imminent doom.
She's got a lot to worry about.
So besides Tom.
But she also might be into it.
Okay. So
I think they're getting together.
Okay.
Because I think
at what point?
I have no idea. I think it would be so funny. I would love that.
Okay.
I love it. Okay, put it on the... I got a lot of predictions this episode.
You do. A lot of crazy ones, but
These were good chapters, though. That's why. So, back to this, though, because Tom assumes that it's Matt or Perrin that she's after if Rand is just, like, on his own without Moraine.
Which is the wrong assumption, but...
Yes. But then he goes, hey, where's my flute and harp?
Yeah, I want those back.
Yeah. And Rand says, okay, like, I have them. I'll give them to you. And he's surprised that Tom isn't in Ilion.
Yeah, we had speculated about that too.
Yeah, but with the Trollocs chasing them and everything, Damin would have been telling everyone about him and they would kill him there or something.
Yeah. Well, it's just like you don't want those rumors going with you that you were being pursued by Trollocs and then there was a Fade and White Bridge and if Damin was leaving, like it's just it's a mess. So don't go that direction.
Right.
So
Rand says, I have so much to tell you. And Tom says, later, boy, here's the inn I'm staying at. The Bunch of Grapes.
It's a great name.
That is so much better than where they're staying, I bet.
Probably. It's a lot more fun.
Yeah,
so.
And then he says, meet me there in an hour.
Yeah.
And bring my flute and harp.
Go get them.
Yeah.
Because the instruments he has right now, they aren't fit for a pig to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's been making do.
Yes. But I'm interested in what Rand has to tell Tom.
Well,
how much of everything is Rand going to share?
Keep in mind that they had shared their Beelzemon dreams with Tom.
Yes, they did.
They seem to trust Tom.
Yes, they do.
From what we've seen so far. So unless things have changed, the one big thing that is, Tom is totally wrong about is the fact that Rand is not the one that Moraine was after.
Right.
So because he had his whole nephew Owen who could channel
and then was gentled and probably killed himself.
Probably killed himself right after we see what happens to Logain. So yeah. So it's a whole big thing. So he's assuming that it's either Matt or Perrin who can channel.
Yeah.
But he's wrong.
He's wrong. And I wonder if Rand is going to tell him, and I wonder if they'll be overheard. I don't think that Rand should be sharing too much personal information about himself in this place.
And knowing Rand, he's going to be like, I'm Randall Thor from Emmons Field, and I can channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually how he does
and
things.
I have the Horn of Valir in my room.
In my room, this is where I'm staying, and there's only a dumb Ogier who's reading a book and probably sleeping guarding it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh,
come on, Rand.
Oh, my God.
That's the worst.
Okay, I have to keep reading.
Yes.
I've been looking forward to this so I can keep going.
Yeah. You want one little tidbit before we end
Sure.
that we kind of skimmed over?
Oh, yeah, sure.
And we didn't talk about?
Yeah.
We got a hint towards how fireworks are handled in the universe.
Yeah, the Illuminators.
The Illuminators is the first time we've heard anything about the Illuminators, but apparently they have a chapter house in Cairhien and a chapter house in Tanchico, and it kind of sounds like a little bit of a guild that deals with fireworks because the more elaborate the displays,
Pyrotechnicians.
yeah, but that's exactly what they are, right? Because the more elaborate the fireworks display, you need an illuminator or multiple illuminators for these big shows.
I think that if we were to ever have a club or a band or something, we should call ourselves the Illuminators.
Yeah?
It sounds kind of like Lumineers, and that's a real band.
Oh, shoot.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, let me think on it.
Okay. We'll come up with it. I can play the cymbal.
You can play the trombone.
I can't play the trombone.
Yeah.
I used to be able to play the trombone.
I don't know if you can anymore.
Yeah. I used to be in jazz band.
I know.
Fun fact. Okay.
Yeah.
For everyone else out there.
Yeah, I was like, I know, Brett. We
was
went to
pretty
high
good.
school together.
I went to
know.
band camp. It was great.
I know you did. But for reading,
yeah.
what am I doing next? Do I get 1? Do I get 2? Do I get 8?
You don't get 8. I can tell you that for sure right now. We're going to do 2 chapters.
Yeah, good.
And they are 2 good chapters.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be a longer episode like this one?
It definitely will be, because there's going to be lots to talk about. And the next chapter title is Discord.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is kind of funny.
We got to celebrate that in our Discord somehow.
Somehow.
Yeah. Get on thinking about something.
Yeah. Plan that one out. Okay, so I think we're done for tonight.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and go read and say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, this one's part of the pattern.
And all my predictions are part
Oh
of the
man.
pattern.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett, with Kyle Smith, Benjamin, Joe Lott, Passion Socks, Multude, and Mozyme. Music by Audionautics.com. If you'd like bonus content like bonus episodes, outtakes, Q&As, more fun Wheel of Time talk, early access, cool stickers and keychains, and also to support us making great content, visit us at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitter at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. We love interacting with our listeners. Plus, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and tell a friend about us because referrals really are the best compliment. We'd really love for you to come over and join our Discord channel for some spoiler or spoiler-free discussions. You can find the links at our Twitter page as well as on our Patreon page. Thanks again for tuning in because this really is part of the pattern now. Mozyme, produced by Dani and Brett, with Kyle Smith, Benjamin, Joe Lott, Passion Socks, Multude, and Mozyme.